What's up, YouTube? I am also broadcasting in a Discord I alert in, so today may be a little different than normal because I'm going to gear it towards them. But you're able to watch and still ask questions. I'm still watching the chat and everything. But let's go ahead and get started. If no one really shows up there, I will not bother. Uh, but let's go with data. We have new sales month over month. Only really thing big tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big daddy, data wise. So that's why we're seeing definitely some weird price action, low volume. Everything is going to probably come in Wednesday because that's what people are waiting on. Earnings. Today's Tuesday. So Walmart had earnings, but it's not on this chart. That's weird. Where's Walmart earnings? But Walmart guided down, for the most part. Fuel transportation is killing a lot of companies. Target was the first one to announce they're spending this much, X amount of extra money on fuel, which Walmart did the same thing, and that's what Amazon. I sold Amazon before it closed, so RIP to my Amazon puts because they're printing. But today we kind of have UPS, Coca-Cola, GM, GE, McDonald's. Not really going to affect much. After we have Google. Google never misses. Never. This company has one of the most cash on hand. Basically, they could sell their phones for $0 and still make money. Google's everywhere. Microsoft, going to be very interesting on that one, just because the way price action on Microsoft's been going. Visa, which banks have been doing pretty good on earnings the second half. Chipotle, Texas. I know a lot of people like playing Skechers, and then in the morning we have Shop, Boeing, which usually always misses and dumps on earnings. Spotify, Waste Management, that's always a good one to play. Kind of a dark horse. And then Wednesday we have Meta, which is going to affect a lot of different companies. Ford, which is probably going to affect EV and all the car companies. And then the fun ones are Thursday with Apple, Amazon, Roku, Intel, X. So I hope you guys knew going into this week was going to be a fun one. But let's go ahead and get to the charts. Yesterday we went over and basically we're watching kind of this former resistance that's now support. See if this was going to be held or broken right here. So this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 6 times it was held as a resistance. And now kind of being held as support. We're watching if it was going to break down from there. And then we're watching Friday highs, which basically buyers need to hold this, sellers need to hold this, and they did a good job back and forth. They're doing a good job. This probably might continue until FOMC. What's up, Justin? You can tell this trend line doesn't really matter anymore. We're still keeping this little uptrend. So I'm watching that, but overnight session, nothing, just completely sideways. So right now, buyers are doing what they're doing, and sellers are doing what they're doing. They're keeping the price where they want, but we're still watching Friday highs and this former resistance that that's support. You can tell we're bouncing from this green box over and over on ES. NQ still staying a little bit weaker. This is my futures. Sorry about that. Futures. We're back below, or they're holding it right here. I'm gonna put that on 12.5. It's 12.250. So at 12.250 is, you can tell support, resistance. They didn't get there, but now support here. You can tell today on NQ, support. Yesterday, the only good futures play right here was kind of a bear flag. A bear flag here popped up. I took futures short MNQ here, and usually your PT wants you want your PT to be here and then there. You can tell re-hit here, and that's where I exited. So NQ is just a little bit weaker than ES, probably because earnings, it's tech earnings. But right now we're watching hold on one second. I heard the trash people come by, and both me and my wife were like, "We'll take the trash out in the morning." We didn't. So right here, I'm kind of holding fibs from here, this low to this high, which is your 1, 2, 3. I want to see a breakdown to 0.5. See if we get to 0.618. See what's happening there. But overall, looking out, we have our triangle, and we're kind of retracing back. Definitely want to see if there's going to be a retest there or what's going to happen there. For you guys in Discord, I go live every morning, and we create this watch list that I do send out in my channel. Right here, we just go through, our main tickers, and get our key points, and we just go through it, knock it out, and then trade based on that. So let's go ahead and start VIX. See what VIX did. Closed here, kind of gapped up again. I don't care, don't promote me. Yeah, VIX closed here, opened here. So VIX did gap up, but sideways. And then I always like to look at what Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing. Nothing really special there, but let's go ahead and Apple. Why? What are you doing? So when I start charting on Discord, I go, I start from the monthly and, kind of look at what the, what we're looking at. Monthly, nice Apple monthly candle. Weekly, with 3 good weeks, we're kind of inside, so we're just consolidating. Most of the market is going to show a weekly inside bar. SPY yesterday was an inside day. We're just waiting for that big move on FOMC. Daily, Apple's kind of come back. I closed my call yesterday just because I don't want to really swing most of the things overnight. But we just caught exhaustion up here from this supply and demand. We had a drop, or we had a base here, drop, base, big drop. So when we get back to this base, usually from when we dropped, sell price dropped 13%. When we get back to this price right here, we're looking for price to drop again. And that's what happened. I got a good 30, 40% off of it. If I would have timed it better, it would have been a little bit better, but it is what it is. Not really looking at Apple. AMD showed relative weakness yesterday, but did recover really well. We do have this downtrend from from its highs, which definitely keep that on watch. What's up, Brad? Definitely keep that on watch. Okay, just all right, there we go. I don't know why my mail just popped up on his mail on his computer, but definitely keep that on watch. Is it really? It wasn't earlier. Come on, Penny, go. But maybe possibly I don't play patterns, but I notice patterns. Like I still like to look at patterns. Like you tell this is a bear flag. Yeah, this is kind of like an inverted head and shoulders starting to form. Yeah, but I'm not gonna base my entrance and exits on these patterns. But overall, AMD kind of taking a little retracement. I don't think. Why is that here? Over here. Okay. Yeah, there's no really chip. Semiconductor earnings kind of pushed. Did it push yesterday with Biden talking? I don't. Why is this doing this? TradingView is acting really weird. Yeah, we caught this nice little yesterday. Just saw, pre-market. One of the only things that were red pre-market, and then we kind of just flagged, and there's your breakdown. But overall, nice recovery, supply and demand wise. Can you stop? That's gonna be annoying if that happens, Aaron. Oh my gosh. Why is it doing this? I'm just going to click upgrade and hopefully it'll go away. Sorry, frustration. Supply and demand wise, AMD looking for a possible retracement down to this area where we had a nice push up. We based, and then we had another push up. So I'm definitely watching 83.23. Pop that up. But also, we are consolidating once we do break the consolidation. Supply and demands probably are not going to matter. Yeah, I just downgraded too, so I don't know. I don't get it, but we'll see if it happens. I'll open another. Because I'm using 4 charts, I'm not using 8 charts anymore. But we'll see what happens. Amazon, 117. Brad, you should have got those swings. Amazon, pretty solid. Supply and demand right here. At the top, nice doji, sold off, gap down, and then a huge push down. So if we sell off from here, more times than likely we're going to sell off again. I'll take my risk on that one. Look at that beautiful sell off. Then also when we do reject supply, we do create new supply. So 4 hour was our new supply. Look at that sell off from this. I don't know what's going on with me today. Sell off from our hitting this supply. We had our initial sell off on Friday. Yeah, on Friday. Yesterday we came up, tagged that supply again, and sold off again. And then also, I was showing you guys yesterday, this like 121, 22, 122 area was definitely a key support. And I was showing you if we couldn't make a new high here, I thought we would break through. Because, supports, I kind of like to think of it as a bouncing ball, where you have your bounce. When you throw down a bouncing ball, you don't get those bounces up. And then we break through the floor, which really doesn't happen in real life, but kind of the way I like to show it. So if we would have created a new high, this demand would have been strong, but of course we didn't create a new high, so the demand became weak, and that's where we broke through. And then Walmart they didn't have earnings, but they did guidance, I guess, which is getting investors scared with Amazon. I think Walmart said they want to move a lot of things online or something. Target missed, fuel hurt them, and then now Amazon right here. So Amazon's going to be very interesting to play. They have earnings the 28th, so in 2 days, Thursday. A lot of people think they're still going to miss, but honestly don't know. Really don't know how to play Amazon from here. Yeah, investors could see a continuation of a sell-off, but also right here we have our rally, our 1 day base, and then a strong push up. So if we do come back down to this 115, which is a good psych level, 115, key demand or demand. What retake 118, and 118 is that strong pivot that took a little bit to get over right here. Amazon's been recently strong, and now it's just showing a lot of weakness. So it's kind of flipped on that one, which is interesting. Google. Google just in this big flag. We took a put yesterday right here, or last week from here. Gave us, took it from here, gave us 2 green days, but we had to exit eventually. Paid very well. Google has earnings, so definitely staying away from that. Kind of want Google to normalize after it's split and then start playing it. It's going to be fun because it's going to be cheap. Is it moving normal? Yeah, it's got normal candles. Before Google would be like very sporadic. It would look like this during the day. But Google's just, just like Amazon. Amazon's cheap now. So is Google. Meta. Meta broke out from this area. This 173. Nice breakout. Rejected 185, which was, you could tell, support here, resistance here, key level. And then came right back down. The only thing I'm watching is it's respecting its bottom demands right now, making higher lows. So I want to see if is it gonna do that again? If not, this thing's probably gonna collapse. We do have earnings on the 27th. We do have earnings tomorrow. So fortunately, that play is probably gonna be thrown out the window. But you can tell demand here bounced, demand created here, we bounced, and now we have demand here. So we're gonna watch if we're gonna bounce. Side note, check this out. Walmart. Okay, so when we have big earnings like this is what I like to do. You have these big sells or big candles. So I take the fib, usually from the high to the low. If we turn on the 24-hour with extended. Oh my God. Okay. But when we have these big, big candles like this, this is price. This is a price inbound. So you have straight selling all here. Okay. So, with supply and demand, I try to tell you guys that because it's showing this overnight, these white, it's actually showing. That's why I'm doing the 24-hour. I'm just showing a visual. That's basically it. So you have this, and I'll show a couple examples. It's kind of just a complete side note, guys. Sorry, but this is how it actually works out pretty well. But you had this big sell-off. So you kind of take the high and the low. The market wants to, especially these higher liquidity names, like especially SPY, QQ, want to fill it to 50%. They want to fill this huge sell-off back up with buying volume, usually to 50% of the 0.618. Tell what did it do? Slowly creeped up that 0.6, that 0.5, sold off again. Earnings, yeah, earnings definitely different from TA, but we had this in multiple places. I've showed this before. I think I've done a video on this. This is why I'm waiting on Netflix. Waiting for Netflix just to creep up. Wait for it to creep up that 0.5, 261. I'll grab puts. Netflix right here. We have this Decent sell-off, okay. Take our fib from a high to low. Where did we retrace to? 0.618. Strong sell-off again. No more there. Snap. Snap, I think, did this too. No, Twitter. Twitter. Right here, I knew a lot of people that wanted to go short on Twitter, after Elon news. So just kind of hold off. Whereas if you take this, swing high to swing low, where did we bottom out at? That point, kind of that 0.618, and then we pushed back up. What are some other examples? Roku, the day sell-off to the bottom. Where does it retrace? 0.618, and then drops again. Show the fib for Netflix, yeah. So Netflix is from our sell-off candle, and I did to the bottom from our low price right here. I can put here, but I'm kind of watching this low price, so just take your, earnings sell-off candle down to that bottom price right here. And so I'm just watching it for, I'd like to see that fill in. It's a good, good risk reward. Grab here, keep your stops up here. Long swing, that's a big stop though. Trying to find other examples too. Shop, maybe? No. I swear Snap did it. Upstart. Thoughts on WWE? It's just running on news with Vinnie Mac retiring and then a possible sale. So, I mean, you could play it based on that. Just you can play it based on that. Just like it's just basically buying Twitter based on its news. But that's a side note on fibs. WWE, yeah. What's up, Daryl? WWE just based on its sale. So that's the only reason I would play it. Don't really have much TA on it. GRB. Just still holding. Okay, back to our. I think Meta was another one. Hold on, let me. Meta sold off here, never got back. Meta from there to there. Wow. I'm probably not going to do a list. I don't really want to write through it. Microsoft, we're still in this triangle. If they didn't have earnings, I'd definitely possibly watch for a price curve and then a shoot up. That's how these seem usually go. You can tell, look at Tesla's triangle it created. You can tell hit here and then kind of didn't go all the way. Well, it did go down, so not a good example. But if Microsoft does break down, I'm definitely watching at 235. Kind of consolidation for 2 months here. 1 month, 2 months. That had a good strong push up. You can tell it retraced back down here and then a huge move up from there. So definitely watch that. But overall, this thing's ugly. Microsoft pops up. We're stuck here in this 4 ugly candles. If it breaks above here, we're stuck in this just ugly consolidation. So Microsoft not giving us the best moves. I just love it when it's overall weak. Just go ahead and take that weakness. NVIDIA, nice push on the chip spill, which has nothing to do with NVIDIA directly. The chip spill is for manufacturers. NVIDIA doesn't manufacture. They create and invent their chips, and they outsource their manufacturing to Asia. But what the chip spill wants them to do is start outsourcing it to Intel. That's going to benefit from the chip spill. So probably in 5-10 years, maybe NVIDIA is going to start getting positive from the chip spill, but they're not getting any money. NVIDIA, just watching. NVIDIA wants to sell off. Definitely watching this 160, which was our previous breakout point. You can tell support here, resistance. We broke above, retested it, and then took off. Yesterday was a doji. We are a little weak today. Are we a doji but minus 1.7%? That's weird. Yesterday I really wanted us to pop back up here. Kind of did. Did we hit that at open? Yeah, look at that. So a lot of consolidation overnight, or a sell off there from Snap, I think. Came back up, sold off again. Supply and demand is getting hard right now, just because our price action is very erratic. It's really hard to play supply and demand on this. That's the hard part. So you can tell I'm kind of doing like intraday, we'll come back to that after Tesla, and then you can look at Tesla. So, but pop up on this 15-minute. Look at these wicks. We have so much wicks. Look at this. I've never seen anything like this. You go back like to a normal day, like no crazy wicks like that, right? You go to our overnight session yesterday, just crazy wick. But go ahead and remove this green box because it's annoying. But overnight took a good long here. We never made it up here, so I'm definitely watching up here too. For a short 39.70, which we had our $30-minute. We started our sell-off, and then we had Biden talking, where we did have a nice strong push. And look, we came back down to our base right here, and look, we had another decent push. That was a nice long right there, 10 points, which is What is 10 points? I forget. $10 points has been $500, so it's a $500 gain right there, just in one candle, one 30-minute candle. Based on that, you tell we're kind of holding it, but of course, I don't like when supply and demands. I like them when they're freshly there. I don't like, previously used ones, because the whole point of supply and demand is that buy orders are still down here, buy orders are still down here. But if we're touched 1, 2, like 3 times, we might be out of buy orders. So definitely watching up here where we did sell off 15-minute, and then right after close we did sell off. You tell previously that sold off here, came back up, sold off again. But this is good on non-trending days, supply and demand. When we do have trending days, supply and demand really doesn't matter. Kind of on a day like this probably broke like 3-4 supplies. But also, if we do have a trending day, I'll wait for a pullback into a demand and then look to get in. And I think on this day, I just kind of sat out. You just play momentum. You kind of play key levels, kind of, just play a little different. But like I tell a lot of people, there's probably over 1 million ways to trade the market. Over 1 million ways to trade market. You got to figure out what's best for you. With me, I started supply and demand, kind of long term, kind of ranging. I used to like the low play ranges and break out from ranges. Then I went, indicators. Like every day I'd look through the indicator list and try to find something. I was obsessed with indicators. I would I'd do indicators, and then I started doing flow. I was addicted to flow. I'd play flow plays. That's just a little risky. But I always come back to supply and demand. So I just took on supply and demand like as good as I can. Thoughts on China stocks? Baba gapped up, right? Yeah, Baba with a big gap up. And look at my chart's pretty ugly here. Don't know what's going on. All right, let's chart Baba. Wonder why they gapped up. Shopify to lay off 10% of its workers. Okay. Why would they do that a day before? Why would they do that a week before? Shopify laid off 10% of its workers. So, they're just preserving capital. Why did Tesla sell its Bitcoin? Because they want cash on their sheet and they took a loss. So it kind of makes it look better. Yeah, not sure why Baba. Hang Seng was up 10%. So with Baba and stuff like that, you could just play momentum. I don't like plan to apply for a primary listing in Hong Kong. Yeah. So, okay, Baba, you just. But Baba had a triangle. We're holding this triangle. Let's go ahead and look at some. Let's go ahead and look at Baba in the long term. So Baba had a rally, base, rally. Until look at that, came back down right here, tapped it, pushed up, tapped it there. So I'm trying to find out. Let's see where. You can't look at exited hours on Baba. It's killer. So Baba definitely needs to break over, just kind of a key level here. Kind of a big $2. Till support, resistance, came, broke above, use that support, resist, support here, resistance. So I definitely watch it, get up to like 170, 178. If you're able to break above here, you have a lot of upside. Um, the month, yeah, see, there's your high volume node. If we're able to break above that, you could possibly see break up here, 109. So Baba can get some momentum, but would be very interesting because retail, I can see some downside for retail. I don't know if Walmart, Costco, Target, all those could drop with that Walmart news. Shopify now laying off probably based on its news. Shopify is down to 32. Where's Shop been rejecting right there? So we had a decent push up. Let's see if can I get this on 24-hour. No, it won't show, but sell off. But we were able to base for a day. I love supply and demands that are dojis, and then a gap down with a sell off. Beautiful rejection, rejected there. But this thing's been range bound since its last earnings, and split doesn't help it either. So lot of range bound, but decent sell off from Walmart news, and then it's laying off. It's 10%, right? Yeah, actually, I was gonna look at XLE. McDonald's missed on revenue, beat EPS. So natural gas is just going through the moon. Because that pipeline. No, if we're able to break over 77, we have this big sell-off we had. We could recover a lot of that back with buying. Monthly candle showing a beautiful bottom wick after a decent sell-off, just showing buyers came in pretty well. Weekly. There's our demand we bounced from. So definitely could see some upside gapping up. One of a few things gapping up. But I've been staying away from XLE Energy. I really should have, when people told me to go long when it was negative oil. Oil used to be negative 40 a barrel, if you guys didn't know that. So the next kind of market crash, I'd go long on oil. But Oxy, Oxy, when our market crash, $10, I would have picked up shares like crazy. Now we're up here. Oxy has stuff in the back. Okay. Oxy, definitely staying strong. Every time I play Oxy, it kind of pushes and then sells off. So I kind of been staying away from it. I just personally stay away from oil. I like my big tech, but Oxy, definitely we could push to 60.5 where we have that volume. Yeah, we have that big volume node right here. And then nothing really till that. VLO. I never really looked at VLO. Seems like overall energy is strong. Everything else is kind of weaker, so energy stays strong. But definitely, you want XLE to pass 77. But also, the FOMC and all this stuff that's coming up could change anything. Could definitely change anything. Who knows what's going to happen? Or pretty sure it's going to be 75 raise, but who knows how the market's going to be? How market's going to react? Apparently, it is priced in. I'm just trying to read some Other news. McDonald's missed. Still going up. Coca-Cola had it. I think Coca-Cola was supposed to beat. They beat. But appreciate you guys, YouTube. If you guys aren't subscribed, about 80% of these people, 80% of the people watching on YouTube are not subscribed. So I appreciate you guys subscribe, like the video. I want to get this growing. Like I do this every day. Appreciate you guys.